Whenever you go to the airport, Africans are carrying heavy stuff, like we are carrying heavy stuff. That was me when I was coming. I remember I had two luggages, two big suitcases for me, two big suitcases for my son, and two carry-ons. And I had my son, I had his stroller. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Priscilla and this is Mom Study Abroad Diary. I knew I was coming during winter. I was coming with a child, so I was like, hey, I need to buy clothes for my son, I need to buy this, I need to buy this. And I was asking people, like, what do I bring? So people advised me, don't buy winter stuff, they will not work for you when you get here. And I was like, who are you to tell me? Anyway, I didn't listen for their advice. I was like, you know what, I'm a mom, I need to go prepared, and I bought stuff. When I got here, those things were not useful. So the story is, so my luggages, when you get to the airport, of course, the big ones, they go with the the big ones, you check them in. So I did that when I got there, and I knew I was overweight, but I was praying and hoping for grace. So because I was overweight, when I got to the airport, first of all, the dude told me, no, you have to balance your things and all that. So I had to buy another mini luggage. The carry-on that I had bought, what I had bought as a carry-on, they were like, no, this is too big, you have to buy a small carry-on. So I ended up spending like 3,000 at the airport, 3,000 Kenya shillings, buying like a small carry-on luggage to fit in my other stuff. And then I ended up sending some stuff back home because I was so overweight. It's not that I didn't pima, like I had weighed the things, but I was just hoping for grace because I thought I need all this stuff that I'm bringing. So I had to buy one. That's the disaster. When you carry a lot of things and you're overweight, you have to leave some things at the airport. Luckily, I was still with my brother because I had my son and I had too many luggages. I had to ask for him to go in with me. So I took back some things and gave it to him at the airport. So you can imagine the chaos. So that in itself, one, it's starting the journey stressed. So after all that chaos of changing luggages and all that, now I had to now go with, I was left with two carry-ons, 12 kgs and 10 kg, and my son and my backpack and our blankets, because I was like, hey, in the plane it's cold. So I had a blanket with me, like those Masai shukas. I had that, and I don't regret having that, but it was an extra luggage, you know. So the Masai shukas and his stroller. What happened was I was carrying all these things, right? And the carry-on that I had, none of them had wheels, because the one that had wheels is the one that got rejected. So now I'm here with two carry-ons and a child and a stroller, and nothing is happening. So I almost missed my flight because of that, because I was trying to pull everything. So when I got on the plane, an attendant offered to help me carry the things up on the plane, and he took my son's stroller. So when I got into the plane, I knew, okay, he's gonna put the stroller where it's supposed to be. To my shock, when we landed in UK, because I did a transit through in UK. So when we got to UK airport and I'm coming down, I'm like, let me get my stroller, whatnot. No, my stroller is not there. So they told me, go look for it, maybe it went into UK. And then trying to find it in UK, that was also another stress for another day, because you know, if you don't have a visa, you cannot enter UK. So I was trying to be like, oh, I need to go get my child's stroller. It was checked in with the luggages and all that, and they were like, no way, there's no way you're going through. So I lost my stroller. I'm here in UK, two suitcases, the Maasai blanket, that one is heavy, honestly. The Maasai blanket was also another burden. The Maasai blanket, my backpack with my laptop and everything. So and the papers that I needed. So you can imagine how chaotic that was. And my bad luck, the UK airport was huge. I was being told like I needed to take the transit plane, and that would take me, like, they told me 1 hour to walk there, or go out and take the train, which was like 45 minutes, I think. But I couldn't do that, so we had to walk for 1 hour in the airport, me and my son. And that's when everything was just, all my regrets started. Why am I carrying this? Because I had to either carry my son or carry the luggages that I had with me. And to some point I was like, oh, let's race, and my son would run and I follow him. And then when he got tired, he was like, mommy, you know what, you're gonna carry me. I don't care what you're carrying. He just sat on the ground. You know, when kids are tired, I was also tired, I was stressed, but when he gets tired, he gets cranky. So he was like, I am not moving from here. And there you are, you don't even know where you're going. You're just asking yourself, how am I gonna get to the next plane? You're stressed because you don't want to miss the flight. You don't even know where you're going, and now you have to deal with your luggages. At some point I was like, am I gonna put all this luggage in the garbage and just carry my son and go? But I couldn't, because I had put my important stuff on this carry-on. So I somehow, I don't even know up to this day, because no one helped me. When you're in transit, everyone is just running to look for their next flight, so no one is gonna help you. When you get on the plane, when you're boarding the plane, that's when you're helped. That's when people are like, oh, the women with kids, you can go ahead, and they have attendants helping you. But on transit, you're all alone. So I don't know how I got there. I got to the next plane, we sat there, my son was just tired, crying, everything. And then we landed in Charlottetown. So when we landed, also that was something else, because now I have to take all my luggages. So I had to take all my luggages. No, first of all, we didn't land in Charlottetown. We landed in Montreal. In Montreal, I didn't have all the 4 luggages. So those ones, I was to meet them when I get to Charlottetown. In Montreal, I was to stay a night and then go the next day. So I still had to come out with my luggages, go look for where to sleep, and then come back again in the morning with all those luggages. Like, it was an ever-ending suffering, and I just regretted every bit of it. Like, I was like just looking at people at the airport wearing their sandals and just carrying nothing, their backpack and I'm there with a child carrying 20-something kgs around. I'm like, Priscilla, what is important in these luggages that you're carrying? It was crazy, it was embarrassing. And just my son crying, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I feel like crying myself. It was too much. But God being God, I got to Charlottetown and took now my luggages. That also was something else, because now I have to take those 4 luggages. It could not even fit in one cart. Can you imagine? Like, I had a lot of things. It cannot even fit in one cart. I had to take 2. And I have my son. So what I was doing to get out to look for a taxi, I didn't have anyone coming to pick me, because I'm coming into Charlottetown. I know no one. And the lady who I'm going to stay with, she's at home. She doesn't care. She's never met me, you know. So I had to push one stroller in front, like to where I can see it, go back, push the other one, go back, take my son, do the same thing until I'm outside. I was like, never again. Like, I'm never ever traveling that heavy. So with that being said, I carry these things, and man, it doesn't end, because when I get to Charlottetown, I was staying in Charlottetown for how many days? For 10 days. I was supposed to stay in Charlottetown until, like, when I moved to that lady's house, I have to move again when I find my own house. And I've moved, since I came here, I've moved like how many times? 3 times. So you can imagine all these luggages, I always have to carry them around, and sometimes it is so embarrassing. Like, why are you carrying? What is all that? and it's actually useless. It's useless to carry all that stuff. So